Hello everyone and welcome back to Building Nations. As you can see from the massive amount of progress I've made on the inside, it's looking pretty good right now, right? Yeah, kind of a little about that, you know. Didn't do the inside at all. I know. How dare I not do the inside? But what I have done, and what's, really the more important thing about this whole structure, is the outside. I have F1 on. The outside. Yeah, looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. All of the spheres that I have added in now look pretty nice. Obviously, natural Minecraft terrain generation isn't the greatest, but I don't know, like, where I'm gonna draw a line between, okay, I'm going to terraform this, and I'll leave this how it is naturally. So, that's a bit of an issue. Also, the tops of these still are spheres. I flattened some of them, but after a certain point I just decided to ignore it completely because I'm going to add the roof, and then I'll have to redo whatever I do here anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we have all that, well, not all that, but the outside here is done. Or so you may think, but in fact it is not done at all. Well, I mean, it kind of is. I mean, it's like close to done. I'd say it's like 85% complete at this point. What's left? Well, you may be thinking, hey, wait a minute, this guy, every time we talk about building here, this guy said to vary up your blocks, and yet he just went and made an entire cliff out of stone. Well, have I got the tool for you? You see here, I'm going to go into my miscellaneous, and I'm going to grab this red dye. I'm going to go and make a brush with a sphere of a lot of different things, such as, but not limited to, stone, cobblestone, andesite, and what else? Stone, cobblestone, andesite. Dead coral? I can do that, right? Let's do dead brain, or dead fire coral. And let's give it a radius of, let's do like 3. And now, you're gonna do / mask. That's a thing, right? Mask. To stone. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, quite a long time actually. I mean, it hasn't been too long, but it's been a while. Doink. That. Oh, because it's set to the coral and not the block. I am smart. Okay, let's undo that that mess, and let's fix this brush. Dead fire coral? Yeah, no, let's undo that. Oh, it's the block. Okay, fire. Coral block. There we go. That's what I wanted. Sort of. That's pretty close, but not quite. But I think that's... Not sure how I feel about that. For this mountain. I think that works. Well, no, it doesn't. I'm gonna undo that. This is why we don't build on camera very often. For all of you folks wondering at home, this is why. I did something. I don't know what I did. But here's where it gets even crazier. You see this massive command? Yeah, we got to add more to it. So, it'll be primarily stone. Let's give it a solid 50% stone. Right? 50%. For the cobblestone, let's give that a solid 20%. We want that block to be present as well throughout a lot of this. Cobblestone, very present. But the andesite and coral can be, I will give 15% to the andesite and all the way down to 7%, because that's what's left in 100. 7% for the coral block. And there we go. Still have the mask set, but now it's going to be a lot of stone. And not a lot of coral. And I think that will look better overall. It is very cobblestoney though, now. You know, I like it more though. I think it works. I just have to make sure to not click in the same area a lot. But, yeah. So, I'm going to go around the outside of this mountain in what should be known as a nice, peaceful fashion. Not trying to incite any wars here with the mountain, because, you know, it's just a mountain. It didn't do anything wrong. I mean, it kind of did, but, you know, we don't like to talk about that. That was the incident. We don't like to speak of that. But anyway, the rest of this, still a mountain. Come in here with this brush and fill the whole thing out with these various blocks, and we will ignore regular Minecraft terrain generation because it is ugly. And we should ignore all things that are ugly, except me, of course. But now that we're here, I'm just kidding. It was a joke. Don't take it personally. It was a joke. Okay. Anyway, outside of that is done. I did it with a 3 size on purpose so it wouldn't permeate to this side, so that I can work with just the stone on this side as well. So yeah, there's that. But now you can see here, looks a lot nicer, having mixed in some blocks. And I'm probably going to do more with this at some point eventually. But for now, I think the outside is looking pretty good. The inside, though, the inside is a different story. You see, it doesn't look good. And, you know, that's a problem. You should probably try to fix that. So how do we go about that? Well, I think the most important step is going to be removing that block, you know? Sets a foundation for everything we do in the future. And with that block removed, it is now time to commence planning, sort of. It's like semi-planning. You know, full planning comes a bit later. Semi-planning time right now. But what you got to do here, I want to keep this little drop down because it adds interest to the build. So, what we're going to do here is cut away a lot of this section here. Don't need it. It's not important. And with this all gone, actually I can use this block. Get rid of this. All of that. It's gone. Don't like it. Be gone. But what you can do here is then use this. I want it to be kind of rigid because it's the inside of the city. So I'll make a rigid point at which this clearly dips into something over to here. I don't know what I'm going to put here. Maybe it'll be the prison. Town prison? You could do that, you know, a little drop down to a more heavily guarded area with the prison. I think that could work. I'm going to write that down. You know, it never hurts to write things down. Unless, of course, your hand is broken and you try to use a pencil. Then it would probably hurt. But don't do that. Prison with drop down. Spelled perfectly. No mistakes there. So we have this set up nice and good. Planning that prison. Everything else in here is going to be flat. The only problem is, I don't know what level to make it flat to, because there's so many different elevations within this already. So, deciding on that first is going to be important. We have this entryway here that comes in, and this still needs to be smoothed out and fixed, and, you know, I'm going to add stuff to the front here to make it not look terrible. But I just put these grass blocks here as like a, okay, this is where the entrance is kind of thing. But I might change that, because a lot of this stuff can just, you know, go away. Because I want to try and even it out. But again, the point to which I even it out is still unknown. But I want this area under the tunnel, I guess, here, to all be on one level. So it'll probably do is it will descend, entering the city at an even rate. So, like, you know, like this, 5 wide staircase coming down. And actually, I'll do one more layer even, down to here. And it will flatten out to the Y level here, which is 75. So at 75, everything here will be flattened out. Completely flat. Except for this area over here, and maybe a couple other spots here and there. But I don't really want to start smoothing the inside here until I get this entire thing flattened. Luckily with World Edit that shouldn't take too long, but you never know how these things go. So, I've been talking for a long time. I apologize. I don't want to leave you with no time lapse because that's boring. The part of me smoothing the mountain here will be in the full time lapse of the city, but it is not interesting enough to really be in the video, in my opinion. Yeah. So, I guess that's how it goes. You can look at the shape here though, admire it, take it in for all it's worth. These flat spots, I left them in because I wanted to make it interesting. You know, if it's all looking like this, then alright, that's cool, it all looks like this. But when you add variation to the structure of here, like the mountain, like some parts are coming like that, but right here it's pretty much straight up and down. Like, this is like 5 blocks thick, like compared to this, which is a lot more than that. Like this is like 10 blocks thick. So variation in that important. So flat side there, not flat, not flat, flat. You know, that's just how it goes. But anyway, talking a lot here, not doing a lot of building, which is what I should be doing. So I will flatten all this out and time lapse that to, you know, be interesting for a bit, I guess. And here we go with the time lapse. Starting it off, first thing to do is really decide how far back to push the walls before I make the floor. So did that using World Edit, so it didn't take that long, and use World Edit to fill and replace parts of the floor with stone that need to be replaced. I decided to go with stone for the floor because that just kind of makes sense with the inside of the mountain, and that indented area for the prison is also looking quite nice. I really enjoy that, the way that looks, and I think it will continue to look good in the future. Alright, as you can see, now all flattened out. It looks so much nicer now. And also I left this one here on purpose to see how many of you would get mad at me. Did anyone get mad? If you did, I'm sorry. Here, I'll fix it. There you go. Now it's stone. But yeah, it looks a lot nicer now that it's all flat, and I can start visualizing a bit better. I still probably going to push out this wall a bit more, and I still obviously need to smooth the inside, but this is a lot lower of a priority for me now that I actually have this flat space to work with. So, we're going to go with that. I'm still liking this. I think it works well, so we're going to keep that. And yeah, I think that about ends it off here. I'm going to leave this here. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed, leave a comment, any feedback you have for me, and I'll see all of you later. Bye.